All right, second grade, we have learned all of our clock stroke letters. So let's try practicing writing some more nonsense words with our clock stroke letters, and that will help us to remember all of the sounds that go with those phonograms as well. All right, the first word we're going to write is daff. What's our first word? Good, daff. What sounds do we hear in the word daff? Good, we hear d, a, f. All right, so one more time, d, a, f. All right, write those sounds that we just said. Say them while you write them. Put your pencil down when you're finished. All right, if you need to pause the video, you can. All right, so we should all be ready now. Tell me, class, what do I need to write to spell daff? Okay, great. The first sound is d, d. Remember, d starts over a space just below the dotted line, touch 2 on the clock. If you're starting it anywhere else, you're probably going to be getting mixed up with d and b, okay? We have to start this over a space just below the dotted line, touch 2 on the clock. Good, so d. What's next? Excellent, our a. And remember, this one has a funny starting spot. It's just below the top baseline. Okay, great job. Make sure yours looks like mine. And let's say the sounds and put them together. Good, our sounds are d, a, and then we put them together, so it's one word, daff. All right, make sure you leave a clock space, and you can put your pencil down, but whenever you write next, make sure you leave a clock space between each word. All right, our next word we are going to write is, let's see, das. What's our word? Good, das. What sounds do we hear in das? Good, it's d, a, s. Write those sounds. Say them while you write them. All right, class, now tell me what I need to write to spell das. All right, good. First, we leave a clock space. And where is my d going to start? Good. Over a space just below the dotted line, touch 2 on the clock. D. Good. All right. I hope yours looks like mine. If so, you got it just right. Now let's say our sounds and then put them together. Excellent. You are doing so well with reading and writing your words, your nonsense words. And we even did a real word. All right. So that's great. We're going to keep practicing spelling like this just to help us get those skills in our head, writing our letters correctly, saying the sounds while we write them, all those things. But this means that we're ready to move on and learn some more phonograms. So let's see. Before we learn our new ones, I want to introduce you to a new kind of stroke. Remember, we've got 5 kinds. We've learned our clock stroke. All right, our next one is a short line stroke. So these are going to be short line letters, the ones that we're learning. Short line letters always start at the dotted line. Class, where do short line letters start? Good, at the dotted line. All right, so our short line stroke starts at the dotted line. We pull a straight line down to the baseline and lift, and that's all. Okay, so these next letters we're going to be using are short line letters. All right, so our next one is this one. This one has 3 sounds. It says I, E. Say that with me. I, E. Good. Now by yourself. Excellent. All right. Pencils are down. Just watch first to write our I, E. Since it's a short line letter, we're going to start it where? Good, at the dotted line. Also, since I just had a word here, I'm going to leave a clock space. Remember, we always leave a clock space before and after any word that we write. All right, I, E, I start at the dotted line. I pull a straight line down to the baseline and I pick up my pencil. Now I'm going to go right above my line stroke, touch my pencil, and just wiggle it a tiny bit. I'm not going to make a huge dot. I'm not going to draw a circle. I'm just going to put my pencil down, wiggle it, and then lift it. This is my I, E. All right, get ready to write. Nice and straight. Find your writing spot. Hold your pencil correctly. All right, start at the dotted line. Pull a straight line down to the baseline and lift. All right, then put your pencil right on top or right above where you started. Just touch it, wiggle it a tiny bit, and lift. All right, I hope you were saying the sounds I, E while you were writing that. All right, let's do it one more time. I'll say it with you. I, E. All right, now by yourself write it and say the sounds while you write it. All right, good job. That is our first short line letter. All right. This next short line letter says R. Say that with me. R. All right. Now we don't want to say the name of this letter. Some of you might have learned the name of this letter. But that's not the sound that it makes. The sound that this makes is R. All right. So this sound is R. One more time. Good. All right. Now to write our R, we start, where do we start? It's a short line letter, so we're going to start at the dotted line. All right. From the dotted line, we pull a straight line down to the baseline. We're not going to lift our pencil. We're going to retrace up to just below the dotted line. Then we're going to curve up and touch the dotted line and come back down to 2. So this is our R. All right, I want you to pick up your pencil and write it with me while I talk you through it. Start at the dotted line, pull a straight line down to the baseline, retrace to just below the dotted line, curve in the direction we read and write, touch the dotted line, and come over to 2 and lift. And boys and girls, you just reminded me that I forgot to tell you about the direction we read and write. When we're using the English language, we always read and write in this direction. All right, we always start at this side and go this way until we get to the end of the page, and then we go down and read the next line that way. So if you hear me say the direction we read and write, you know that it's going to be this. Okay. All right. So class, I want you to write 2 more R's. R. So say it while you write it and make it look as beautiful as you can. Don't rush. All right, good job with your R. All right. Now our next short line letter that we're going to do is this one. This says N. Say it with me. N. Good. Now by yourself. Good. N. All right, so our N is a short line letter, so we know it's going to start at the dotted line. Pull a straight line down to the baseline. I retrace to just below the dotted line, curve in the direction we read and write, touch the dotted line, touch 2, and then pull a straight line down. All right, get ready to write, and I'll talk through it with you. We're going to start at the dotted line, pull a straight line down to the baseline, retrace to just below the dotted line, curve up in the direction we read and write, touch the dotted line, touch 2, and pull a straight line down to the baseline and lift. So that is our N. All right, I want you to write N 2 more times. Say it while you write it. All right, great job with your IE, with your R, and with your N. I think you did so well. I think we should learn one more short line letter. And that short line letter is M. All right, since it's a short line letter, we know it's going to start at the dotted line. Bring you over here so you can see better. Start at the dotted line. Pull a straight line down to the baseline, retrace up to just below the dotted line. We curve in the direction we read and write, touch 2, and pull a straight line down. Now we're going to do that again. We're going to curve up to just below the dotted line, curve in the direction we read and write, touch the dotted line, touch 2, and pull a straight line down to make our M. M. All right, get ready to write. I'll talk you through it. Start at the dotted line, pull a straight line down to the baseline, retrace up to just below the dotted line, curve in the direction we read and write, touch the dotted line, touch 2, pull a straight line down to the baseline, retrace up to just below the dotted line, curve in the direction we read and write, touch the dotted line, touch 2, and pull a straight line down to make your M. All right, I want you to write your M 2 more times, and always, always say it while you write it. All right, you have done just such a great job today, boys and girls. We'll just have one more lesson today where you can practice your reading and writing. All right, so I'll see you then.